Welcome to the spiritual world. Today, we're going to be continuing our talk about the nature of the spiritual world. And I believe it was Narottam Das Thakur who said that by talking about it, you can actually be in it, because it's not just a place, it's a state of consciousness. And although your physical body could be somewhere, your mind can be somewhere else. And we all know that. It's called daydreaming, right? You know, pictures of these students, like they're looking out the window in class, and they're not hearing anything the teacher says, and they're thinking about something they want to do, and they're actually there. They're totally not present, isn't it? Have you ever done that before? Totally not present. The teacher's speaking, and you don't hear anything. You're daydreaming. And Prabhupada also said our whole life is a daydream. But that's another topic. But you're daydreaming. So you're not actually, your body's in one place and your mind is somewhere else, and you're totally not, you don't even know what's going on around you. You're totally not aware. In the same way, spiritually speaking, your body may be in the world here, but your consciousness is in the spiritual world, and you're not actually here. It's an interesting thing that Prabhupada said, or it was Vishwanath Chakrabarti. I have, the gods of allergy attacked me last night, in spite of taking allergy medicine. So I have to make a disclaimer that I may be sneezing a lot, forced to blow my nose a lot, and it's just, I don't know what it is, but I got attacked today. So it's said that in a more advanced stage of chanting, you can see the pastimes while you're chanting, because wherever there's Krishna, he's doing something, and if you see Krishna, you're going to see him doing something. But even in more advanced stages, you're not looking at the pastimes, you're actually in the pastimes. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be a good day's japa, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. Another thing that Prabhupada said, you may have read, I believe it's in the second canto, about the transcendental television. That through transcendental television, the pure devotee is seeing the Leela. That being the case, we can't say that he's actually in this world, because how can you see those Leelas if your consciousness is affected by this world? It's impossible. You can't, because those Leelas are transcendental. They have nothing to do with the modes of nature. So you're actually in that transcendental position, although physically here. Then Prabhupada says that some of the great acharyas, they remain perpetually in this world preaching. And Prabhupada said Arjuna never goes back to Godhead. He's always with Krishna. Right now, he's with Krishna. Some universe, or many, many universes. And then when you first hear that, you think, oh, that's a bad deal. Arjuna never gets to go back to Godhead. Well, it's not such a bad deal. He's with Krishna. Wherever he is, he's with Krishna. So what's the difference? Is there you need to go back to Godhead if you're with Krishna? I don't think so. I think that is back to Godhead. So that's one conception we need to understand when we're talking about going to the spiritual world. I don't know if I want to go there. Well, do you like hearing about Krishna? Do you like going on parikrama? Do you like going to the Dham? Well, yeah, that's going to the spiritual world. If you like that, you'll like the spiritual world. Now, if you go to Vrindavan and you don't like it, maybe you'd have a problem going to the spiritual world. But if you like Vrindavan, if you like Mayapur, if you like going to the temple, if you like hearing about Krishna, yeah, you'll like the spiritual world, because at that time you're actually in the spiritual world. And early on in the movement, I heard a concept. We've all heard it. The temple is not in this city. It's not in Alachua. It's not in Los Angeles. It's not in London. It's not in Moscow. It's in the spiritual world. There's nothing to do. It's like, that's interesting, and that was like it didn't make sense. I had a hard time understanding it. But what did Prabhupada mean? When you're in that Sangha, when you're in that temple, the modes of nature are not influencing you. It's only Krishna, Krishna. So in that transcendental state, you're no longer being affected by material conditions, and therefore we could say you're not in that city. Does that make sense? Hare Krishna. Yes. How could you be in that city? Because if you're in that city, you would be affected by the conditions of that city, right? But since you're not in that city, then where are you? You're in the spiritual world. Hold on, everyone. Cross your fingers so I don't have to sneeze. Okay, thank you. And if you're at the temple and you're not thinking of Krishna, and you're thinking, I want to enjoy this world, I want to enjoy this body, and even though you're at the temple, you're not in Vaikuntha. Excuse me. You're not in Vaikuntha. Even you're chanting japa and you're thinking, how can I enjoy this world of sense gratification? You're not with Krishna, even though it says, Krishna's present in His holy name. Yeah, not for you. Definitely not for you. He's not there. You are not, okay, Krishna's present in His holy name, but you're not present to the Krishna that's present in His holy name. So for you, He's not there. You're in the world of sense gratification. So even though it looks like out of your mouth is coming the holy name, it looks like you're chanting, you're not there with Krishna because your mind is somewhere else. So it works for you, it works against you. Hare Krishna. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down or up and around and see. I saw a comment by Anna. Experts at the university to be present at the lesson and everywhere else with the mind, but it happens also while doing japa. Yeah. I think I just said what you said. Okay. So, yeah. Transcendental, not affected by transcendental means not affected by material conditions. That's what it means. Now, I just realized that this keyboard that we do our kirtans on, I could plug it straight into where my mic is plugged in. But I don't want to try to figure this out and set it up while you're all watching, but I will do it another day. And for your transcendental pleasure, it will even sound nicely, hopefully absorb you more in kirtan. Hare Krishna. Okay, so I just have to set up and we'll chant Jai Radha Madhava. And we'll go to Vrindavan while we're chanting. We won't be in this world, right? How does that sound? Sound good? Sounds good to me. Hare Krishna. And then we'll begin reading again. Kamini, I have a busy day today, so I didn't spend much time studying this morning. I had to do other things. And if we run out of what we're reading, I have two other things, but I didn't send them to you. Oh, before we begin, I have a prayer that, I don't want to forget this. I had a prayer to japa beads. Satyarupa Vanamita. She was interested in this. I don't know if she's watching, but if she's not watching now, she'll watch later. Here's a prayer to the japa beads. It's a nice prayer. There are many prayers. Tvam male sarva devanam sarva siddhi pradamata tena satyena me siddhim Dehi Matar Namostute. O Mala, among all of the gods, you are considered the bestower of all perfection. By dint of this fact, O Mother, please grant me perfection. Obeisances unto you. So the Mala is the bestower of perfection. Interesting, right? Please grant me that perfection. Now, I'm on a quest, and I've been unsuccessful in my quest. I've been looking for prayers in the Shastra to the clicker. We found prayers to the Mala. I'm looking for prayers to the clicker. I haven't found any prayers to the clicker yet, but I'm still looking. I'm still looking for that prayer. Oh, clicker, with every click, your clicking is like ambrosia to my ears. With every click, I'm one click closer to Krishna. There must be some prayer like that, right? Of course. Well, maybe they didn't have clickers. They didn't have. Well, maybe we have to write a prayer to the clicker. Oh, clicker, nobody counts as well as you. As you help me count my japa, please bestow perfection on me, just like Tulsi bestows perfection on those who chant her beads. Well, if she bestows perfection, why don't I just chant on beads? Wouldn't that be better? Oh, yeah. I have to think about that, right? Okay, I'm sorry to inform everyone, there are no prayers to clickers. So if anyone asks you, Prabhu, what's the story on chanting with clickers? The story is there are prayers to the Mala, but there's no. They say, but the clicker is just the new incarnation of the Mala. Yeah, okay, whatever. But if you can touch Tulsi, if that's, that's nice, isn't it? I think it's nice. Gurudev, we have to take a picture of you. So we need a new picture of you for our altar. Okay, get my clicker. And he's holding his clicker. No, I hope that doesn't happen. Hare Krishna. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panachari Jamuna Tira Panachari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panachari Jamuna Tira Panachari. If you analyze this song, it's just describing how much Krishna's devotees love him, basically. I mean, you could translate it literally, but if you go just a little under the surface, it's just a description of the love that the residents of Braj have for Krishna. And Bhakti is about love, everything's about love, and we're meant to understand that love and become that love. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Dari Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Dari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Sodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Sodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Amanatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari. See Radha Madhava ki Jai. Think of this. We're chanting about Giridhari. Giridhari is lifting the mountain. And Krishna lifted the mountain for many reasons, but one of the reasons was because residents of Braj could spend all that time with him, and he could spend all that time with them. And if you understand Krishna and you understand the pure devotee, you will understand that everything Krishna does is only out of love for the devotee. And everything the devotee does is only out of love for Krishna. And just meditate on that. There's no envy. There's no resentment, no hatred. There's no influence of the modes of nature. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to go to a place and you go to the tourist office and they say, well, these are all the places you can go. But if you go in this place is special because in this place, there's no influence of the modes of nature. There's only Ladini, Shakti, Sambit, and Sandini, the spiritual potency. The spiritual Swarup Shakti, Krishna's internal energy. And that internal energy is governed, guided, permeated with love. That's the only reason people do things. And you know, in this world, obviously, we do things for other reasons. And in that world, it's the only reason we do it. Wouldn't that be interesting? And now meditate on that. That is what the spiritual world is. That is Krishna. And even if Krishna is killing a demon, he's actually doing it as Vasudeva, not as Krishna. But even there, it's for their benefit and the benefit of his devotees. Because everything Krishna does gives the devotees an opportunity to glorify him. Right? Tell me I'm right. It makes me feel good. So, builds up my self-esteem. So there is a world where the only motivation, both from Krishna and his devotee, is love. That's the only thing that goes on. There's only love there. Wow, what an amazing place. And Prabhupada said something, and you know what Prabhupada said, and you know he said this, and it's heavy. He said, there's no love here. So, taking that statement, flip it around. If there's no love here, then we can say, there's only love there. You say, no, but there's love here. And Prabhupada means, no, it's perversion. It's a perversion of that love. No, but I love my guru, and I love my husband, I love my wife. Okay. But love in a pure form, that's called prema. And prema is very rare in this world. And in that world, prema is the norm. That's just like, yeah, everybody's... Wow, imagine going to a place and everyone's a pure devotee. That would be interesting. Have you ever been anywhere where everyone's a pure devotee? Every single person has love for Krishna. Imagine going to a place like that. Wow. Right? So there's only love there. There's no other motive. Meditate on that. And if your head explodes, then don't blame me. I'm just telling you what it's like. But if you meditate on long enough, your head could explode. Well, it would probably explode in ecstasy, so that would be okay. But that's what's going on there. Okay. So, we have a couple things we're going to read. Anyway, before I just finish the thought, this thought was stimulated by the song Jai Radha Madhava. When I realized after chanting it for 50 years, finally I realized it. The big, deep realization I had after 50 years is that this song is just describing love of the Krishna and the residents of Vrindavan. It's just a song describing their love. But extending that concept, that anything that is describing Krishna and his devotees is just describing the love the devotee has for Krishna and the love Krishna has for his devotee. That's all it's describing. Ultimately, if you look at it within that context, you'll see, that's, it may look like it's describing so many other things, but if you look at it in that context, you say, actually, that's essentially what it's describing. Isn't it? If you think about it, you think of all the leelas of all the devotees in the Bhagavatam, and you think, it's actually describing love. Hare Krishna. False alarm. Well, maybe not. I took a double dose of allergy medicine, so I'm hoping maybe it will kick in soon. Okay, Kamaniya, I have to find the document. Everyone, bear with me. Think of how much Krishna loves his devotees while I'm looking. And pray that you will get that love also. Okay, so this is a room conversation. This is September 18th, 1973. This took place in Bombay, now known as Mumbai. Achyutananda Prabhu says, what is more important, to go back to Godhead or spread Krishna consciousness? Good question. Prabhupada. Well, one who is preaching is already back to Godhead. Iha yasha harer dasye karmana manasa gira. Preacher means he has engaged his body, his mind, his speeches, only to glorify the Lord. The preacher, excuse me. So anybody who's engaged that business, he's jivan mukta so uchite. He's liberated even in this life. Even if he's liberated. I think Prabhupada means even. He is liberated. So why he should seek liberation? He's already liberated. In other words, should we just preach or should we go back to Godhead? Well, you're a devotee. You're already back to Godhead. I think I need to clean. Do I need to clean the lens of my camera? I cleaned it with something that was supposed to clean it. Excuse me, everyone. You will not see me for a second. Okay, I don't know if that helped. And we will do our daily ritual and take our Chinese medicine. Maybe that will help. Should we, we discussed this at length. Should we want to go back to Godhead? Should we want to stay here? And one of the answers is, why would you need to go back to Godhead if you're already there? You're already liberated. Right? So only someone, I think we discussed this, only someone who's not liberated, who doesn't experience the fact that someone who's not transcendental would ask that question. Because one who is liberated is already back to Godhead, so they wouldn't have that question. Right? Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, think about it. It's like asking, how do I get to such and such a place if you're already there? If you're already there, you wouldn't ask how to get there. So why should he seek for liberation? He's already liberated. He's already back to Godhead. He's already with Krishna. Krishna's talking with him. Buddhi yogam dadami. One who is actually preacher, engaged in Krishna's glorification, service, he's already in Vaikuntha. That is stated in Bhagavata, etad ishanam, just like Krishna. If he comes within this material world, does it mean that he's in the material world? Similarly, Krishna's pure devotee, he's not in the material world, in the spiritual world. That's kind of coincidental that we were talking about this at the beginning of class, and now we're reading it because I had not read this. I didn't know we're going to be reading this, so I wasn't making a commentary on this. Guest. He gets the body. Does he get the body? Prabhupada. Therefore, it said, Jivan Mukta. Although he is within this body, still he is Mukta. Mukta means liberated or free. Just like example is you take a rod, put it into the fire by association of fire, it becomes red hot. At that time it is fire, not rod. Similarly, if one is fully Krishna conscious, he has no other business than to glorify Krishna. He's already in Vaikuntha. Why should he, I think Prabhupada was going to say, why should he desire liberation? Therefore, Krishna Bhakta doesn't require any mukti. Mukti swayam mukti tanjali sevate asman. That means mukti serving him. Muktali, what is it? Mukuli tanjali means mukti is waiting. Anjali with hands like this. Yes? How can I serve you? You don't have to try for mukti. Mukti comes and offers you service. It's kind of nice, if you're a devotee. Yes. Mukti serving him, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani Janmani, birth after birth. But when you go back home, back to Godhead, there's no birth. Yad gatva nanivartante, tadama paramam mama. Well, paramam mama, not mama. You don't return. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says birth after birth. So he's already mukta. He's already in Vaikuntha. Is that clear? Yes. Therefore, Krishna Bhakta is nishkama. He has no any desire. Because he's already fulfilled with all desires. He's in Krishna, in the service of the Lord. You say a devotee has no desire. That's hard to relate to someone who doesn't have any desire. You don't want to live? You have no desire to live? You don't want to eat? Not exactly. It doesn't mean that. He has no, actually it's true, he has no desire to live other than living for Krishna. If he can't live for Krishna, why would he want to live? So he has no other desire. And Krishna is fulfilling all his desires. He's full. So he's liberated. The opposite of liberation is the more you have material desire, the more you're not liberated. The more you're Atmarama, self-satisfied, on account of your bhakti, the more you're liberated. You're walking in this world and you don't want anything in this world. Then you're liberated, isn't it? You're a weirdo. How do you know if you're liberated? You're a weirdo. When you become a weirdo, then you don't, hey, you want to go do this? Nah. Hey, you want to do that? Nah. Weirdo. Yeah, that's your qualification. You don't want anything of this world. And why do you go back to Godhead? Because you're not stuck to this world. You don't want to do anything in this world. That's liberated. You want to do something in this world? Great. Here's a body. You can do something. You don't want to do anything in this world? Why do you need a body? You want to serve Krishna eternally? You need a spiritual body. You want to serve Maya eternally? You need a material body. It's that simple. Can't make it any simpler than that. That's the way it works. It's your whole education about material and spiritual world in one sentence. Okay, let's continue reading. Therefore, Krishna Bhakta is nishkama. He has no desire because he's already fulfilled with all desires. He's in the service of the Lord. Achyutananda. Well, like sometimes the devotees are preaching, they get feelings of getting entangled, so they want to. That means he's not perfect preacher. In other words, he's saying they get affected by the material environment. That means he's not yet perfect preacher. He requires perfection. So they argue with me or some other. It is not a question of arguing. No, they say, well, I want to fix myself up, and we want them to preach. No, they're saying, well, I get contaminated when I go out, so I want to become stronger. Then when I go out, I'll be okay. Prabhupada says, preaching is our only business. Preaching. Whatever we do, it is aimed at preaching. Namaskara. So, I guess somebody came in. That is our business. Whatever we are doing, it is for preaching. In the practice or in the engagement of preaching, their position is better than those who are worshiping the Lord in a secluded place. Bhajananandi. Okay. Continues. Don't go away, there's more. What about those who are preaching but imperfectly, and those who are, even it is imperfect? Achyutananda, it's better than just sitting. Prabhupada, yes. If he's sincere, you cannot be imperfect. Because we're always imperfect, but Krishna will help us. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam buddhi yogam dadamita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. I just got sidetracked because the verse is not buddhi yogam dadam. It's not buddhi yogam dadamitam. I mean, that's correct. Krishna gives intelligence, but it's... Prabhupada sometimes quotes it that way. Dadami buddhi... Dadami, I think it's dadami buddhi yogam tam, not buddhi yogam dadami tam. Anyway. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. How can... Krishna gives intelligence... this is actually... I think this is my favorite verse from Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna gives intelligence to the sincere devotee. And the reason it's my favorite verse is because I realized that if Krishna guides you, you're safe, obviously, right? He's the best. Krishna is the best GPS out there. If you're buying a GPS, buy a Krishna brand GPS. Gets you right. Buy Krishna brand GPS, gets you back to Godhead directly. Never fails to get you back to Godhead. So, if you're in trouble, if you're in ignorance, if you need strength, if you need guidance, change of attitude. Dadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna says, I'll give it to you. Wow, that's beautiful. Meditate on that. It's like, why would I have to worry about anything? I'll never be lost. I'll never be confused. I'll never be misguided. Krishna from within will guide me if I'm sincere. He'll guide me how to get at Maya. Maya will never get me, and at least not for long, because Krishna promises, if you're sincere, I'll guide you. So, isn't that beautiful? Like, what do you have to worry about? Well, the only thing to worry about is not being sincere. But assuming that you're a sincere devotee, then you have nothing to worry about. The only thing you have to worry about is just being sincere, and then Krishna does it all. It's like, wow, you have this like built-in GPS. You don't have to worry. You always have guidance. Isn't that beautiful? Now compare yourself to someone who's not a devotee, or worse, someone who's an atheist. And you might say they have guidance, super soul, but it's not spiritual guidance. So you have this system that if you're just sincere, Krishna he'll help you figure out how to get out of Maya and stay out of Maya, and it'll help inspire you. That's beautiful. That's why it's my favorite verse. It's like, this guide, this internal guide is always there. And you just have to be sincere. And He takes care of you. Thank you, Krishna, for doing that. Everyone, thank the Super Soul. Well, actually, for a devotee, it's not the Super Soul, it's Krishna himself. So, Prabhupada says, how can he be imperfect? Krishna will give him intelligence. Imperfect means whose intelligence is not perfect. But when Krishna is giving intelligence, how can he be imperfect? He may be imperfect, but he's being helped by Krishna, therefore he's not imperfect. You like that? We're imperfect, but we're being helped by a perfect person, so it doesn't matter if we're imperfect, because the GPS is perfect. You may not know how to get there. GPS knows how to get there. You're guided by the GPS. It's as good as knowing how to get there, because now you're going to get there like that. That's beautiful. Isn't it? You agree? Is it beautiful or is it beautiful? I call it the iGPS, the internal GPS, or the TGPS, the transcendental GPS. So sometimes the devotee may say, oh, I don't think I'll make it back to Godhead, this and that. No. No reason not to get there. Krishna will do it all. I didn't get the medicine you suggested because I think it's more or less the same. Anyway, I'll tell you what's in my medicine. Something like Loratin or something. Isn't that the same as what you suggested? But I took a double dose. I think it's kicking in now. But I think it keeps me awake at night. Like some nights, like 2 nights ago, I went to bed at 3:30. I got up at 6:30. I'm transcending. Okay, we're going to read. You know, Prabhupada did not like sleeping. He actually hated sleeping. It's because you don't do anything when you sleep. Prabhupada really felt sleeping was a waste. And he didn't like it. And he didn't like it when his devotees slept. Or at least slept more than he felt they needed to sleep. If anyone had hated sleeping, it was Srila Prabhupada, for sure. Laura, yeah. It's not good enough? Your medicine's better? Okay. Send me the email again. Because my wife thought what you were suggesting was the same as that. Send me the email again with the medicine and I'll get it. You know I hate allopathic medicine, don't you? Isn't there a natural way to get rid of this? Well, there is a solution. You go to the doctor. Yeah, send me the email. You go to the doctor and the doctor says, I do have a solution. Just don't take birth. Because the number one cause of disease is birth. The number one cause of death is birth. The number one cause of old age is, you got it right, it's birth. Hare Krishna. You don't like old age, disease, and death? Simple solution. If I were a doctor, I would just say, look at Chant Hare Krishna. Don't worry about your disease now. Chant Hare Krishna. You'll never get another body. You won't have to worry about this stuff. Of course, I would get sued and they would take away my license, but it's the truth. Now, I know something for sure. Nobody likes getting older. The only people like getting older are like the 3-year-olds, up till like 25 or whatever, something like up till then. After that, nobody likes getting older. It's like, oh, today's your birthday. Yeah, don't remind me. You get old. Yeah, happy birthday. No, not happy birthday. I'm just getting older. Look at me, Gray hairs, wrinkles, it's not a happy birthday. It's just 1 year closer to dying. So, you know anybody who likes getting older at past a certain age? I don't think so. Maybe you get your retirement money or something. That's an advantage of getting older. But otherwise, but all the other things that happen when you get older, Some people get really fat when they get older. They're like very thin and they get fat. Some people lose their hair, turns gray. They used to be beautiful. Now they're not beautiful anymore. Their face changed, their body changed. It's like, wow, it's not fun. So we have a solution if you don't like getting old. It's not a cream, it's not a pill. It's a Hare Krishna mantra. If you chant this mantra, you'll never get another body. And the cause of disease is the body. You'll never get another body, you'll never get another disease. Okay. Okay, that was a commercial for the holy name. Maybe we should make commercials and put them on Facebook. Do you hate old age? Do you hate disease? Do you hate death? We have the cure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. The number, okay, we'll start the video. The number one cause of disease, we discovered it. If you're interested in knowing the number one cause of disease, stay tuned and watch this video. And then we tell them. Number one cause of disease is you took birth. They're like, what are you talking about? And we say, take the medicine, the Maha Mantra. You won't have to take birth again. Okay. Okay, we're going to get that other medicine. Let's see if it works. We're going to do a shootout of allergy medicines, and I'll report the best one. Oh yeah, I come to Europe, I won't sneeze. You never know. I don't know if I'm going to make it in Alachua the whole summer because it's allergy season. So we have a comment here. Prabhupada said, our only business is preaching, and wherever we go, we should preach. How to understand the statement? I notice that some devotees take the statement straight, meaning they preach to everyone. They preach everyone, everywhere, without discrimination, not even considering if the person wants to or doesn't want to be preached to. It seems that we should be sensitive to who we're preaching and how we preach. Well, it's hard to control people, so I think devotees will, preach the way they preach, and they'll learn. Obviously what Prabhupada meant is that that's the main business of our life. That preaching doesn't always mean talking to someone. It could mean so many things. Giving them a gulab jamun when they're not looking. What's that? Would you see that? And they look up and you go, oh, and drop a gulab jamun in their mouth. That's preaching also, right? Should we do that? I don't know. There was a devotee who used to do it, but it was at a festival, so people were like, okay, open your mouth. You throw a gulab jamun. That was fun. Yeah, our life is dedicated to making others Krishna conscious. That's what it means to preach. But some devotees there's one devotee. So we were doing Sankirtan together, and he said, whenever you and I are together, maybe it's in an elevator or we're together shopping, we're in a line at checkout, I'm going to tell you, I read an article and it said they're putting animal hooves and animal excrement and animal nails and animal fur in the meat. Because he wants people to hear that and put two and two. You're putting animals in the meat, but the meat's already an animal. So he would do that. We'd be in the line, and he'd speak real loud, and he had a thick New York accent. Hey, you know what I read in the paper today? They're putting animals in the meat. They're chopping up these animals, and they're putting them in the meat. Their hands, their nails, their hair. Yuck! And people are like looking at him. And occasionally someone would go, but isn't it's already meat though? And then he goes, oh my God, I never thought of that. I'm becoming vegetarian. I'm not going to eat meat anymore. We used to do this. It was so hard for me to keep a straight face. And wherever we'd go, when we aren't distributing books, wherever we go, he would do this. So Everyone's got their own way of preaching. It was pretty funny, especially on the elevator, because people can't. They're trying to pretend that they didn't hear what you said. And they're looking away like nothing happened. And he's talking real loud in his big New York accent. They're chopping up animals. They're putting them in the meat. It's so gross. I can't believe it. And everyone's like looking at him. It's so funny. So, what can you say? There's a devotee named Dramila. And Dramila, he's a fan of the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges was a comedy show when we were kids. About three guys who were all like super dumb and would just do, it was like Bhakta Burfi. The Three Stooges were like three Bhakta Sandesh, Bhakta Burfi, and Bhakta Gulab, And they would just do stupid things. And make stupid sounds, They would touch one and go, woo, and shake hands and go, woo, woo. And he was like this Three Stooges, is the word aficionado, like connoisseur of the Three Stooges. And he would go on Sankirtan, and he'd put out his hand, and then sometimes he would go, woo, and the people would just start laughing. And he said, once they start laughing, they would just take a book. And that's how he did it. The joke, this was a Three Stooges joke, and I think he would do this also. I've been thinking, and people go, yeah. And he said, yeah, for me, that's really dangerous. Just these little jokes, and the people would just laugh. They would all take books from him, and they'd love him. So, we're all individuals, so. Krishna Karshana, this story. There's a mission called the Ramakrishna Mission. In the Ramakrishna Mission, Ramakrishna Paramahansa said that he was God, or at least his followers said he was God. Somebody said he was God, and he didn't deny it, either him or his followers. And they're actually eating chicken. For some reason they rationalize that. And they're preaching impersonalism. And Prabhupada, and he's very, very, Ramakrishna is very popular in India. He's Bengali, as far as I know, very popular. Honored, worshipped, respected. And Prabhupada just blasted him, which is not like PC to do, to blast someone that everyone loves. Anyway, one of his disciples, she went into a meeting of the Ramakrishna Mission and she interrupted it and said, this is all bogus. This is all impersonal. And they got back to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was so happy that she did that. He said, that's amazing. That's my Govinda Dasi. She's a bold preacher. A preacher should be bold. So, we told that story. I think I told the story. I must have told you that story, Prabhupada's with a professor. He's a Hindu professor. Prabhupada says, so what's Hinduism? The professor says, well, that's a difficult question to answer. Prabhupada said, you're a Hindu professor, and you can't even tell me the definition of Hinduism? And he turns to Swarup Damodar Maharaj and said, Swarup Damodar Maharaj, or Prabhu at that time, he said, he's a professor of Hinduism, and he can't explain what Hinduism is. Well, what do you call that? What do you call him? What does that make him? Oh, Prabhupada, that makes him a cheater. It was like a setup, right? Tag team, Prabhupada said, so he has called you a cheater. What do you have to say for yourself? And then Prabhupada was speaking to another man, a scientist. He was an atheist. And he's trying to explain, you're not the body, there's God, this and that. The man couldn't understand. Prabhupada's trying to explain, he can't understand. No matter what Prabhupada does, he can't understand. Prabhupada said, you cannot understand because you're a demon. What kind of thing is that to tell people? I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's because you're a demon, that's why. And then Prabhupada said, he told the story, he said, I can get away with this. I'm like the guru of ISKCON, and I'm like everybody's grandfather. So, like older people and kids, they get away with a lot. So he wasn't recommending doing it, but sometimes he was like that, just unexpectedly would say something and everybody thought, okay, that's the end of the Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada just said this. The movement's finished. Nobody's going to join. And there's another time they went to meet, I think, the mayor of a city in Paris or somewhere in France, or the governor. And the governor couldn't make it, and the assistant governor was there. And so they have a long-standing tradition that when the governor walks in, you stand up. And so the governor walked in, everybody stood up except Prabhupada, and they're all waiting for Prabhupada to stand up. And he's not going to stand up. Because, of course, they explained to Prabhupada, he's coming in, we should stand up. Prabhupada didn't say anything, he just didn't stand up. Because Prabhupada's perspective is that the guru should not stand up for an ordinary person. This is not proper etiquette. Ordinary person should stand up for the guru. So there's this big silence waiting for Prabhupada to stand up, and he doesn't stand up. And he's probably the first person in the history of France who didn't stand up for the governor, or unless they were, rioting or being attacked by some army. But in ordinary course, and it was like, could you imagine being a devotee there? You're cultivating all these people, and the people are like, why isn't he standing up? What's going on? And he wouldn't stand up. So, different ways to preach. That's all I can say. We can't control it. So that's the answer to that question. You will preach according to what you think is best for the people, right? That's how you'll preach. You'll do what you think is best for the people. You do what you think will help them. And sometimes Prabhupada would do things we thought weren't going to help them, and his view of the world was exactly what that person needed, and his understanding. So he did it. He had the perfect vision. So. Okay. Some allergies, yeah. My allergies are something this season in the world. Weak immune system, but I never get sick. Maybe I have a weak immune system, but I never get sick. So I don't think I have a weak immune system. I don't know. Someone come up with a solution. Histamine, hydro, blah, 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 blah. Another medicine. Wow. Is there anything natural that just helps? Take supplements to boost? Yeah, I do. I don't know. It's just like my body doesn't like. I've taken everything. Something in Alachua. Something in Alachua this time of year. In the summer, exactly. I'm allergic to Alachua. And then when I go to the doctors, they say, what are you allergic to? And I say, I'm allergic to doctors. Actually, I don't like doctors. I tell them that. I joke, but it's true. I don't like them. My goal is to stay away from doctors as much as I can. Point is that by preaching in insensitive way, you more discourage people. Yeah. But sometimes we could be too sensitive, and we need to push people a little bit. They're sitting on the fence, so sometimes you have to. Depends on the person. Oh, there's a certain small percentage of animal products that companies may legally put in food without having to declare in the ingredients, which is why we should cook everything. That's like bad news. I don't know about other countries, in America at least. All the more reason not to buy pre-prepared foods. Gomati Gonga suffers from allergy too. She's sneezing together with me. She takes Klore, blah, 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 blah. I can't even pronounce it. You know what they say, if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't take it. But, okay, we'll try something else. Chlorpen. Why do they make up these crazy, weird-sounding names for all these medicines? I think that's like the funniest thing. When they come up with a new medicine, they come up with these names that make it sound like that's the name of a medicine. Or is that just a description? Is that just a chemical description of what's in it? Maybe it's not a crazy name. It's just what's in it. But why do they make these weird names to describe these chemicals in medicines? Makes it sound like it's good for you or something. They come up with the medics and they go, Vitroxyoside co-cyclo-glyco. And it makes you think, oh, this must be good stuff. Isn't it? I have to make it a confession here. I hate advertising because I think it's so insidious. I think it's just legalized cheating, basically. It's hyperbole on steroids. It's just like branding is like, it's like taking something that's nothing and making it something. This pen, we call this the magic stereo pseudo Badubo pen. This is amazing. It's got the super titanium tip and the ultra blue high quality density plastic. You know, it's like, give me a break. It's just a stinking pen. And you want me to pay $100 for this because you can put a fancy name on it and it's like, you know, it's Kali Yuga. And these innocent people are being exploited by all this. Hare Krishna. Good. I made Jagannath Priya laugh. I get 5 bonus bhakti points. For every devotee that laughs at my jokes, I get bonus bhakti points. I'll go back to God and I'll say, so Krishna, what did I do to get back to God? And you didn't do anything. You just made devotees laugh. And Shastra says if you make devotees laugh, you make advancement. So that's why you're here. Other than that, you're pretty useless. But as long as you make devotees laugh, we figure we'll let you in. You can tell some jokes up here. We'll make you a coward boy. We like to tell jokes. Krishna, he says, times have changed. And we cannot preach the way like we did in Prabhupada's times. You have to be sensitive. Otherwise, we're making bad PR for ISKCON. Yeah. But sometimes we're too sensitive. That was my only point. Sometimes, you know, totally understand what you're saying, totally appreciate it. But sometimes we could go overboard, right? How many devotees did you make in the last 20 years? Well, I didn't make any devotees, but I didn't offend anybody, you know. So you don't want to be so like walking on eggshells. You know. Well, did you actually tell him what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita? Well, not really. Why not? Well, I didn't want to offend them because Krishna says, you know, they're less intelligent, and so you know you can't go to that point. Oh, and the defense force, the women don't stand if the general enters, but men have to. Interesting. Prabhupada said we cannot, you know, Prabhupada said, yeah, I can get away with it. But now I'm older, so maybe I can get away with it. There's a plant called snake plant that purifies the air. It helps with dust allergies. I think we have it in our house. At least my wife said she bought a plant. I'll ask her what it is. More sleep. Yeah, that's a good idea. I need somebody to come here, help me with all my work, then I could get more sleep. It's like crazy. The coronavirus is the worst thing that ever happened to me. Every day I open my email. can you lead a kirtan? Can you give a class? It's like that, no time to do anything else. Took Ayurvedic medicine for a year. All right, what's the name of the medicine? I'll try it. Acupuncture can help. Takes months. Yeah. I don't know, this allergy has been a problem. The fine art of pushing a little during preaching also very much depends on the preacher. I even don't like to use this word preach, yes, as it has take on such a negative connotation in the material capacity. You want to hear something funny coming here? We had this realization, exactly what you're saying. The word preaching, the connotation is Christian, someone on the pulpit telling everybody, you're going to hell if you don't accept Jesus. You're a sinner. So it's like, yeah, let's go to church and be called a sinner and told we're going to hell if we don't accept Jesus. That sounds like a great way to spend my day, right? So it has a negative connotation. So one time, a devotee was speaking to a guest, and another devotee came in and said, Prabhu, can you help us do such and such? And he said, I'm sorry I can't help you. I'm preaching right now to this guest. So we realized that's probably not the best thing to say in front of a guest to someone else. I'm preaching to this guest, and the guest is like, okay, well, actually, I forgot I have an appointment right now. I'm going to have to leave. Have any of you ever seen that happen? It happened to me. Well, something else happened, but it was similar, and the guest left immediately, which was maybe not such a bad idea, because it was all brahmacharis in the temple, and she was young and beautiful. So I think Krishna arranged that something would happen to scare her away. But sometimes those things happen. So we made a stricture that we would never use that word, at least. Okay, I'm going to say this. This is going to sound so funny. When preaching to guests, we would never use the word preaching. Oh, and I just used the word. When sharing Krishna consciousness, we are not preaching, we are sharing Krishna consciousness. Now, we're making fun of this, but the fact is, changing the word from sharing or teaching, from preaching to sharing or teaching, it not only is good for the people that they don't have to hear they're being preached to, but it's good for the preacher to realize that he's sharing. He's not trying to nail someone in the ground and beat them up, which is a certain kind of preaching tactic, right? But teaching is different. Sharing is different. So preaching does have that connotation of like Klore, Panna, Romine. Oh, wow. I'm going to turn into a drugstore pretty soon. You know, the problem is I have too much to do. I can't sleep. I can't peacefully sleep thinking if I don't get up early, I'm never going to get everything done. Okay, 5 of you come to Alachua. If you each bring like $30,000, when you get here, we'll build you a house. Then you can all live in and you can help me. All right, that's the plan that's the conclusion of today's class. Neti pot. Yeah, I have the Neti pot. Yeah, it's kind of okay, but I don't know. It's supposed to get all the allergens out of your nose. Names of drugs are usually related to the chemical components. I studied pharmacy, and I don't take meds either. I prefer natural. I studied pharmacy, and what was your conclusion? Don't take any of those medicines. Okay, the chemical components, the chemical component names are weird. But when they come up with some product, they give it a name. And it's just, you can tell, it's just a made-up name that sounds like sophisticatedly medical, isn't it? Should we stop class now and make up 10 names for a new allergy drug? right? Clear. So, you want to have the clear oxide. You want to have the word clear in it, and then append it with some name that sounds medical. Like, yeah, that would be good. And we could sit around, and pay a big advertising company to come up with the name. Hare Krishna. The advertising that the drug companies legally do in the U.S. is very unique to the U.S. It's created a phenomena where patients tell their doctors which drugs they want to be prescribed. Oh my God, it's very bizarre. You don't see that in Europe. Well, the most bizarre thing about the ads, you have to watch these ads. I think all the people who make these ads should be locked up in prison and never spoken to again. It's so sad and sick. So, do you have this disease? You have that disease? Ask your doctor about such and such. And it shows some people out in the country having a good time and everything's great because they take this drug and beautiful music and the birds are chirping and the butterflies are flying by. And everything is just amazing. It's like they hit paradise once they took this medicine. And at the end of the commercial it says, side effects include sudden death, heart attack, cancer, respiratory diseases, shortness of breath, suicide, depression. It's like, wait a minute. And they say that they speed that up because digitally you can speed it up. So it would normally take 3 minutes to say that, and it takes 4 seconds. Side effects include blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, this is totally insane. Is everyone in this world insane? Do they not see what's going on? Are all their eyes closed? What is going on? And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, whoever created this commercial, can I meet you so I can take you somewhere and just lock you up so you stop doing this? It's insane, isn't it? I've often said, we have to see like this because this is what prevents us from becoming part of that mess, seeing how crazy it is. You can try homeopathic. I think I've tried everything. I am the last person in the world to take allopathic medicine. And this is the only allopathic medicine I ever take is allergy medicine because nothing else worked. And I surrendered. And this isn't even working, which is scary. And then we have to go to higher doses. Yeah. When I lived in Mayapur, I would spend 2 weeks a year in Alachua. This is where my house is. And I would travel. I'd leave Mayapur and I'd travel all over the place. I'd come back to Alachua, get a few things, buy a few things, and then I'd go. I'd spend 2 weeks here. So I didn't have to worry about the allergies for more than 2 weeks. So now, I'm taking the next plane to go to Europe. The preaching center, we have the case of a person who stopped going to the programs because we told her the bad that is for the planet to eat meat and the suffering. She feels insulted. Wow. Some devotees thought we should not speak so truthful about it, that it's okay. She used to go all the programs, but she did not want to stop eating meat. What do you think? Well, you know what I think? I will tell you what I think. I think there's a way to explain things that you can get most people to say, okay, that makes sense. I really do. And that's, in light of what Krishna Karshani was saying and how to share Krishna consciousness in an effective way. The way my mind works is I have always thought, since I was a brand new bhakta in a diaper dhoti, I thought, there's got to be a way to explain this in such a way that people will just say, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Or I can feel what you're saying. Some people feel it more than see it. And so I think the problem is you want to be able to explain it without making people feel bad, like there's something wrong with them. But make them feel like this is the consequence. This is what happens when we do this, not just you, but when we all do this, this is what happens. And when you explain it to people in a way that they'll think, I never thought about that before. I never realized that what I was doing was creating this situation. And you say, well, it is. So think about it. And that's all you have to say. You don't have to tell them what they're doing. Just say, I just wanted to make you aware of this. Just think, this is a consequence. This is a consequence of the meat industry. It's the number one cause of environmental pollution. This is the consequence for our health. And then, there's another issue is the animals have not volunteered. They're not volunteering to walk into the slaughterhouse. If they were, you wouldn't need to haul them in. They would just walk over and say, please end my miserable life. Eating grass all day. I'm so depressed. I'm so stressed. Just chop my head off. If that were the case, okay, no problem. Meat eating would be a relief for the animals. But it's just the opposite. So I think there's a way to explain things. If we ask Krishna for intelligence, I think there's a way to explain things that reasonable people would accept. And you may want to go back to that person, man or woman, whoever she is, and just think of a better way to explain it. And say, just keep going on in Krishna consciousness. It's okay. And, if you're in this state of eating meat now, I just wanted you to understand. These are some of the concept results. Or this group called PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, have done tons of research. And there's this movie called, what's it called? I forgot. But it's in my new book. I quote a lot of the statistics. It just gives statistics about the effects of meat eating on physical, on your own health and on the environment. And so it's just it's there. Here, do what you want with it. I'm just sharing this with you. So you don't shame people. So yes, I think this is how I think. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe not in every situation it's possible. Maybe in some situations we're just going to upset people no matter what we do. But as far as possible, I try to explain things in a way that my hope is that people will get in. First, number one, it'll get in. And number two, they'll say, that makes sense. At least that's what I do. So that's how I would ask everyone to think. Supreme Court is allowing or not allowing today's Rath Yatra. Bible thumping. We call it Gita thumping. The Gita thumpers. Y'all have great and bad karma out there eating meat. Y'all going to Patala Loka. You're gonna. What happens when you eat meat? You go to a planet where what? I forgot. Somebody remind me. What happens? Can you imagine a devotee on the God? Oh, this would be a classic Bhakta Burfi. Oh, my Govinda. Bhakta Burfi's out there, with Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto. If you have illicit sex, then after you die, you're going to be bracing a hot iron woman. If you eat meat when you die, you're going to go to a planet where they're going to eat you alive. Yeah. That was not the recommended preaching technique that Prabhupada gave us. Neither did he preach that way. But could you imagine someday in the future, like 500, ISKCON, in the year, ISKCON in the year 2500, and there's, Gita thumpers on the street, and Gita thumper temples, where they're, if you don't chant Chutanam, you're going to Patala Loka. Oh my Govinda. anything is possible, right? Kamania says, in my experience, one needs to have earned the trust of someone before one can preach. My husband and I only use the word sharing because it also helps our mood. Yeah. So if people feel accepted and cared for, that's important. So, even if we're trying to correct them, they should still feel cared for. They should still, did I say it? They should still feel cared for. Say that 10 times fast. Still feel cared for. Still feel cared. No, it's not easy. They should still feel. They should still feel cared for. They should still feel cared for. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, so if people feel cared for, people feel accepted as they are, then, and people don't feel like, we're not judging you, we're just, this is a philosophy, and then you see how you fit into that and what you can do. That's how I would do it, and say, this is a philosophy, and then you think about it and see how you want to apply it and fit in. And I've noticed that people say, okay, that's fair. Those rules are fair. You tell me, this is where so-and-so place is, and, these are the ways to get there, and you go, okay, so you take that information and you decide how you want to go. Yeah. When one has gained the trust, friendship of someone, they feel comfortable to ask questions. Then they are more receptive to listen, yes, with an open mind and heart. That has been our experience in our kirtan seva, yes. Okay. People also feel ganged up on very easily. So if more than one devotee is preaching vegetarianism, the person being preached to obviously gets very defensive. Yeah. Sometimes people agree with you, but it's like an ego thing. So for them to agree is kind of like to admit defeat. So sometimes, have you ever seen this? People will defend their position and they don't even agree. And they're listening to you and they're thinking, yeah, like what you make sense. But it's the way you do it is like, it's like really hurting their ego. So they'll defend themselves they'll defend an idea even after they realize their idea is stupid. Have you ever seen that? It's because you're attacking them. So naturally they're going to defend. Anna says, I sometimes see at the temple people that are in an offensive mode or dressed improperly. So my mind would suggest to me to talk to them, but then I do nothing because there's already a grace to have them there. Then with time they will realize what to do. That's there. And there's also easy, there's easy things to do. There's just like signs, dress code, and you can see them. I just have a question. Welcome to the temple. I have a question for you. Have you read our sign over there? What does the sign say? It says, don't dress like you're dressed. There's nice ways to do it, like, thank you for coming. It's so, glad to see you. And you want to come back? Yeah. I say, would you mind when you come back? This is kind of like a religious, spiritual place. We have a certain dress code. Would you mind? Would that be okay if you dress as... I go, sure, okay. Just, when you say things in which people feel offended, then they're going to defend themselves. And once they defend themselves, the communication's finished. So that's also an alternative. But what you say, Anna, is true. Not wise to travel now, I don't think so. Yeah. What's wrong with eating meat? No, nothing, no problem. It's just after you die, all those animals, that's all those animals you kill will just come back and kill you. But other than that, just like nothing to worry about. Gopi, we should do some videos like questions and answers, like, What's wrong with eating meat? Well, not much other than just like destroying the planet, cancer. And in some religions say the karma for killing animals is they'll take birth in next life and kill you. But aside from that, it's like, I guess it's fine. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah. Yeah. Aside from that, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Just do these 30-second little videos, throw them out on YouTube. You and your wife could do them. I think it'd be a riot. You could pull it off. You have all this what's wrong with this? And you go, well, nothing's really wrong with this aside from this, that, and the next thing. Aside from the fact that it'll kill everybody and destroy the planet. But other than that, I don't see any problem. You see any other problem? No, I don't see any other problems. It's just those two. But yeah, that's another way to preach, where you say it and you make people laugh, and then people realize it. Bite and impale. Bite the bullet. Bite the gula bullet. Gopi, why don't you try to do a video like that? We can check it out. Or you can play. You can play the guy, the butcher, and your wife can play the cow. Or you just play a guy and say, I'm really hungry today and I really like meat. Can I chop your head off? Would that be okay? And you're like, no, I don't think that's okay. I like my head where it is. But I'm really hungry. The grocery store's got a lot of things to eat, Why don't you just go there and get some? No, but I like you. Yeah, I know you do, but I kind of like me also, like the way I am. Yeah, you could play like that. Yeah, but you're just an animal, so who cares? Yeah, but, I have feelings. I mean, when you chop my neck off, it hurts, If you don't understand it, try chopping your neck off. And if you weren't happy about that, then you'll understand it. But that was the example Prabhupada gave. It said, you feel pain if your head's chopped off? You don't think they will? You could do some, Gopi, I know you can do it. I empower you officially today, June 21st, 2020. You've been empowered to do those videos. Kamaniya says, on the PETA website, they have very good fact sheets on many different topics for those who want to learn more. I personally feel that many devotees would benefit from educating ourselves more on how. On how much animal suffering we are participating in through the products that we buy. Yeah, that's good. And you can also use their information to share with people who are meat eaters. The movie, I just remember the name of the movie. It's called What the Health? What the Health? And a lot of people who watch that movie become vegetarians after they watch it. So you may want to watch it and get some facts and figures. I think what I did was I looked for the transcript of that documentary. You say in Spanish, documentario. Of the documentario. You say documentario. You can get the transcript, and it has all the information on the whole animal thing, eating animals. Yeah. The animal eats you. What's wrong with eating meat? Well, nothing other than the animal. You'll come back as that animal, and he'll come back as a human, and he'll eat you. But other than that, I don't see any problem. You could make such a cool video. Other than that, and before that happens, probably cancer, heart disease, and obesity, and this, that, this, that, and all the things it does to the earth, and this, that, and that. But other than that, I can't really see what's wrong with it. It'll go viral, Gopi. You'll be famous. You'll be famous. We have to give you a stage name, right? We don't have to. You'll come up with it. I noticed the less direct preaching, the better. When I talk during our tour festivals with people, I just try to be normal and nice for them. I don't want people to think that the Hare Krishnas are like some crazy so-called religious people who only speak about God and nothing else. I want people to think we're normal. Yeah, that helps. Did anyone ever ask you, I have a question for you. Are you guys normal? They kind of asked that question indirectly. Like, do you have a normal life? Do you like, do you have houses? Do you like drink water? Sometimes they don't. They just say, do you all live together in one place? Do you see doctors? They have all these strange ideas. You just eat like carrots and apples? You eat anything else? So it's true. People may have these strange ideas. So appearing normal does help. Of course, I've never met a normal devotee yet, so that you're going to have to do you're going to have to act a little bit, right? No, I'm only kidding. Yeah. It's true what you say. I agree. I always think, you invite, have you ever seen this one, And Prabhupada did this also. And Prabhupada is so transcendental. It's like everybody would fall in love with him no matter what he did. Do you ever, you get all your prize people that you're preaching to, and then you invite the Maharaj to come and give class, and he walks in, with his chadar over his head, and he's got tons of chandan on his forehead, and he's walking in, looking around, real serious. And you're looking at your guest going, oh no, what's going on here? And he sits down and he goes, what the scriptures say. Women are less intelligent. And you also know they never went to the moon. You know that, right? And you're like, ah! That ever happened to you? A day in the life of Hare Krishna, right? He's been preaching, cultivating all these people, super sensitive. You never said the wrong word. Everything you said just helped them. And then they come to the Sunday feast, and, that would be a good drama, right? That would be so funny, because everybody's seen that before. What do you think about, these people? All rascals, all fools, complete idiots. Any other questions? Hare Krishna. You watch some videos from the 80s. That's how all the devotees preached. It's crazy. It's so funny. I watched some videos from the 80s, and they were accusing one of our gurus of something. And he's like, it's not us, it's you. You're the ones doing that. Your society is making these kids crazy. They don't become crazy when they become devotees. It's your fault. It's like, and I was looking at this and thinking, oh yeah, that's the 80s, all right. That's how we preached. Here in Singapore, we cannot preach openly. It's illegal. So we do it discreetly, yeah. Same in UAE and China. We cannot take Prabhupada's books and go, yeah, same in China, UAE. Rachel says, I don't... Gauranga! I don't fully understand how devotees preach about meat destroying the world, but still buy milk from the milk industry, which is, of course, not ahimsa, and it's even worse than meat industry in terms of... There's a big debate about this. Different people on different sides. And a lot of devotees on your side, and the devotees on the other side is like, look, Rachel, if you take milk from that cow's going to get spiritual benefit. That's the argument. That's it. That's the argument. And obviously Krishna likes milk, but that's not a real argument, because you can get ahimsa milk. Hopefully you can get ahimsa milk for Krishna, but if you can't, what to do, because Krishna likes milk. So that's the other side of the argument. So it's become a very personal issue. There's no official siddhanta that any, because so many gurus are vegan and so many aren't. And they all have their reasons. So basically, we're all going to have to decide what we believe is best. But we're fortunate here in Alachua because a devotee has a farm and we can get milk. And milk's good for the brain. It helps your spiritual brain tissues. So we want our brain to be in a good state. So milk is important. So, there's some validity on both sides of the argument. The problem is that Kali Yuga, things are so messed up when we're probably supporting so many things that are destructive that we don't even know, or indirectly, but this is direct. Obviously, we're supporting the slaughter of animals. But that's the argument. And so, I'll tell you a story, Rachel. So I was talking to some devotees who take care of cows, and I say, vegan or not? And they both said, vegan. I said, why? He said, because we love our cows, we love our bulls, and we don't want to see them suffer. And since we take care of them, we have this emotional bond, and we can't, in all good conscience, take milk from cows who aren't being protected. They both said that. And like a week later, the head of cow protection in such and such a country, I won't mention the country or the name, he gave a whole Bhagavatam class about why we should take milk. So you have these cowherd boys saying, don't take it. This cowherd boy saying, take it. Isn't that interesting? Welcome to the wonderful world of the Hare Krishna movement. Documentary. Sometimes I can't pronounce English words because I got thrown off by the Spanish. It's time for a seminario. So then I'm speaking English. I go, have you come to my seminario? I go, seminar. It's not what is it? I forget how to say it in English. In Spanish, it's documento. Really? Oh, documento. Did you see the documento? That's a weird word. It should be documentary. Documentario. Cowspiracy. Oh, that's another video? Cowspiracy. What the Health is a 2017 documentary film which critiques the health impact of meat, eggs. Yeah. Let that lady or that person, Anuradha, see that film if they're willing. It's quite convincing. Documentary, documental, English. What the health? Full transcript. Yeah, you can read it. This is good for preachers. I would look at this. I would educate yourself. There's a lot of good information there. And a lot of this information is in my new book. And I've just got a devotee to proofread it. We'll be the third proofreader because the final corrections were made after the two proofreaders. And I thought we need a different proofreader to finally look at it. You really think that people in the Western society do not know what we were talking about meeting? Yeah, you ever been to Arkansas? Yeah, come here, Anna, come here and spend some time in Arkansas. That will answer your question. There's just so much attached to it, they do not care. It is the same with, it is attached to it, they don't care. Some people, for sure. It's the same thing with smoking. I think we have to give them time and make them feel happy enough with Krishna so they get it. But you get people in some places in America, how can you live and you don't eat meat? You must be crazy. I mean, seriously. This is 2020 and there's still people like that. Because in 1970 when I joined, everybody was like that. Wasn't it? You can't live if you don't eat meat. So there are still some people like what you say is true, but there are still some people who think that way. It's so hilarious. We had that exact experience with the guru speaking for our students. Everyone had that experience. Oh my God. Okay, I happen to top the cake of experiences. So this guru comes. He's very into varnashram and village living. He comes. He stays at a devotee's home. And in a devotee's home, it's in this area. It's in I don't want to say where it is, because then you'll misunderstand who the guru is. Anyway, it's in a place where there's lots of ponds. So in this area where the devotee lives, this devotee doesn't go out, doesn't take a shower in the bathroom. He goes out in the pond with his gamsha and takes a bath in the pond, in front of all the houses. And the pond's got a fountain with electrical wires. And he's like, what are you? He's walking out in his gamsha. All these people are looking at him. He's taking a bath in a pond, which no one has ever gone in. Welcome to the wonderful world of Hare Krishna. where you will see things you have never seen before. People asking such questions during festivals, if we have normal lives, we have to clarify they were normal, or at least we try to be normal. Do you have a normal life? Not at all. If they asked us that question in 1970, you go, why would we want to have a normal life? We don't have a normal life. And people go, cool, what can I join? I don't have a normal life either. Times have changed, huh? There are many vegans amongst devotees, yeah. And Krishna Karshini is vegan. I want to move to Alachua to get that milk, yeah. Okay, the last comment, and then we're going to go. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to build farm communities and have our own goshalas. But so few of us have done it, I can't help but wonder what we could say today, seeing the terrifying conditions. Yeah, just get some money and support his cow. Or pay a farmer to not kill his cow. Say, how much you're going to get for this cow? And say, well, I get $1,000. And how much will it cost to maintain this cow? Oh, $300 a year. Okay, here's $1,000, don't kill it. Here's $300, and call me next year, I'll give you $300, maintain the cow. I was told they do that in England. Nice, huh? Okay, I have some devotees coming over. We have to record kartals. We're doing an introductory course on Krishna consciousness. And now it's time to teach people how to play their kartals. I find that funniest thing, that you would have to teach someone to play kartals. I can't imagine you actually have to learn how to play kartals. But I guess some people do. Prabhu, how did you learn to play kartals? I didn't. I just picked them up and went out on Harinam. And they just played themselves. I don't know. It's like you chant mantras. My dear Mridanga, can you play yourself and allow me to make it look like I'm playing you? That's me. That's how I do it. It's like, oh, Mridanga, teach me how to play. Da, 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 da. Where'd you learn that beat? Oh, the Mridanga taught me. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll all see you tomorrow after this 2-day separation. I was like crying all weekend being separated from you. And we're back together. It's so nice. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, go Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.